Now, the voice, your voice, I associate your voice with public radio more than
My voice?
Your voice.
My voice?
More than any other voice in the world. I mean, I always wondered what it would be like to meet you. We've never met before today. If your voice on the air would be any different, if that was more of an on-air voice, like Mia Farrow's character in Radio Days, where mellifluous on air and then squeaky and annoying in person, but it's the same voice. I wonder if your voice, if you ever thought about going into radio before all this Grand Ole Opry stuff happened, because you seem to have such a natural cadence and a natural timbre for radio. Had this ever been an issue for you before?
No, I think the voice that I fall into on Prairie Home is a manufactured voice. When you go into radio, you know, you're imitating. You're always imitating. You're imitating Edward R. Murrow. You're imitating Eric Severide, all these giants who I grew up with. My voice when I started out doing Prairie Home was much higher than it is. Of course, I'm older now. And I'm more discouraged, but it was a high, twangy Midwestern voice, and so I've brought that into this sort of this kind of standard American broadcasting voice.
Right. How does the program come together? Would you give us a peek behind the curtain on that? How long does it take to? Much of it is improvisational, I know, on the content of the program, but how much preparation goes into a weekly program?
Oh, you mean now?
Now.
Oh,
yeah, give me a sense of how the program comes together.
Well, I'm a broadcaster when it comes to that show, and so I can't work far in advance. I need to be motivated by fear, by adrenaline.
Deadlines.
Yeah, right. A deadline, and the longer you're in the business, the more dulled your reactions are, so that you don't get nervous as early as you used to. And I used to get nervous around Wednesday, and now I've strolled into Friday mornings sometimes, very nonchalant, and then of course there's the panic when you come to rehearsal on Friday evening.
Yeah. And
then you have to really start to make tracks.
So there is a rehearsal.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, you know, we all get together and we look at each other, and then you have to get to work.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, there's a sort of controlled panic, and but then everything kind of smooths out. You come to 5 o'clock Central Time,
right?
And they play the theme Tishomingo, and the audience claps. And we don't have an applause light, you know, so that's refreshing. They clap, and then you're launched on it, and there's no time to worry about it.
How big an audience?
Well, whatever theater we're in, it depends.
Typically.
Well, back home at the Fitzgerald, we have a capacity of about 1,100, 1,200 if we seat people on stage.
It's pretty great to have that kind. Well, the audience doing that program, I imagine, before a live audience, vastly different. You didn't always do it before an audience, right?
I'm so nearsighted that I'm not really aware of them.
Is that right?
No.
But isn't there more energy in the room when you have an audience there?
To me, it's not an audience. It's like a Renoir painting of flowers.
Is that right?
Just all sort of pinkish flowers.
I'll be thinking about that one later, I'm sure.